Welcome back to Dragon Age. We're going to do more of these dog scenes. They're hilarious. Let's see what else they have to say. What is all this racket right here?
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
I was about to get rid of Stein, but trying to find a way through the earth, are we? Stop that, you're making a mess. Bad dog. It's going to take some time, you know. Good luck with that then. What else do we got? That's cool.
Yes. I am hardly surprised. Very well. As you wish.
Hey man, a few words. Come on, I need conversation going. What you got?
What do you need? Ask away.
I already said everything with him. And I did it with Morgan too. Is Morgan alright?
Yes? If you must.
I can do personal stuff now. Let's do it. Since we're alone.
Yes? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Discuss away.
I'm gonna save, and we'll reload it. If it don't work, I just want to see what happens when she does when we kiss her. I don't want to kiss her. I just want to see what happens. So.
Yes? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Humor me.
Oh, it's humor you desire. I didn't realize comedy had anything to do with this. Not unless you stop.
Okay. Approves.
Yes? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Ah, such a romantic, I see.
Not just kisses. Okay, so I thought people said the dwarf duck can't find romance. I guess he can. And it brings her approval up 4 plus every time. What's Liliana have to say?
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
This vision of yours. What was life like in the Chantry Cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Condescending? How so? Yes, they tend to be self-righteous.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
I prefer your ideas to the ideas of the Chantry. I don't really want the Maker looking in on me anyway. What do you say to them? But you must earn the Maker's blessing.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
She approves too. Alright, Buzz.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What would someone like you be doing in the Lord of the Rings Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
You know, a beautiful, charming woman like yourself. Preachy.
And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister, all of them chaste and virtuous. It added to their mystique, because then they were forbidden, and forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no?
Sweeter? It's the sweeter, no. So can we go back to Lothering now? No. Those initiates can't have be more lovely than you. What about your fruits? And is it forbidden?
My fruit? Well, it is not technically forbidden, but it's not freely given either. Not everyone gets a bite. I can't believe I'm having this conversation. But no, I did not take vows. The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
What did you do before that? Med.
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
What did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Okay. She approves.
Yes?
Let's
Something
see.
you need?
I'd like to talk about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
The vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak. and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
Then what? What then? So it's just a dream. Why say it's a vision? You dreamed of the blight.
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
That's just wishful thinking, Liliana. And this made you want to help me. Did you hear voices?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
The blight is the Maker's punishment. Will you defy him? I suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a blight to stop.
She approves again. Let's see, Codex. This, and this, and this. Notes, this. Got controls. Let me get all this done real quick. Get all these done there. These are all yellows. I'm just getting this done real quick. Here, I will skip ahead. Alright, and we're done. No other, yep, no yellows, we're good. Alright. This is Liliana,
Yes?
I say.
Something you need?
Oh, the top has them.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Why did you decide to come to Ferelden? You were traveling Mistral. Did you have...
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated, and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais, and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
Found to your mother. Why did she leave Ferelden? Was she not happy with Orlos? Found to your mother.
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
Oh. Do you remember nothing of your mother? You were young, you were young. It's understandable. Was held like... That's just too bad she's gone.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes, Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andraste's Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
She approved. Let's keep talking.
Yes? Something you need?
Other topic.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Do you miss Orlais?
I miss Val Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent.
Is that all? Orzammar is magnificent too.
Yes, I'm sure it is. But every city has a different personality. It is hard to describe. You have to be there. Of course there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
What sort of things?
Dresses, fine dresses and furs, and shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes! Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
What's so special about shoes? Shoes are shoes. They're to keep your feet dry. Oh, I love shoes. Were they ridiculous shoes? Here.
When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front.
I
A
thought it was gonna
ribbon,
be a
perhaps,
joke.
or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
You've lost me. Oh, that sounds so lovely. Wouldn't that be hard to walk in? Must have cost a lot of gold. Yeah, right here.
I had my eye on a pair my shoemaker was working on. It was covered in pale blue silk, with amber beads on the toe. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
You don't need fancy shoes to make you beautiful. I know, right? So ugly, shapeless. They're comfortable. At least they keep the cold out.
Thank you. It's kind of you to say so, even wearing these mud-covered horrors. They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
She approved by one. Let's finish
Yes?
all the conversations
Something
with
you
her.
need?
Let's talk about something. What's this?
Go? What do you mean, go? You want me to leave?
We don't need you anymore. I want you to be safe. Get as far from here as you can. Just go, don't argue. Never mind.
Yes? Something you need?
I'd like to talk about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
You were traveling Mistral. Do you have tales to share? I heard that Orlos Mistrals are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
Who cares? Is it true or not? Someone told me this a long time ago. I read in history.
And you believe everything you hear?
There.
Not all minstrels are
I want to make
spies.
her laugh.
Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
And the bards are spies? What's the difference? I thought minstrels were bards. difference?
Many use the two words minstrel and bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Do they spy on Ferelden? Patron? What sort of patron? Doesn't monarchy govern them? What sort of services does Bard offer?
What do you think? They infiltrate, steal, sometimes assassinate? It depends on the bard. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You were a bard, weren't you? You seem to know quite a bit about these bards. I knew it. You're not just some innocent sister. Were you sent here to spy on me?
Spy on you? What would you have that a spoilt and bored Orlesian nobleman could want? I have revealed too much, it seems. But it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
But why are you living closer?
Is my usefulness all that matters to you?
Yes. What else? No, of course not. I did not mean to offend.
My skills served me well. But the day finally came when I decided to just put them aside. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Okay. What else does she have to
Yes?
say?
Something you need?
Yeah. Can you teach me to be a bard?
I don't think you have the correct aptitude. I could give you some pointers, though. You may be able to pass them on to someone you know. Let's just go over there, away from the others. For safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time.
Alright. I'm a spy, or a bard, or whatever. Anyway.
Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind?
You were traveling, Mistral. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Know any stories from Morlos? Do you know any Ferelden legends?
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Know any stories from Orla?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Olay.
Alright, go ahead.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
We need to find her. Continue, please. Yeah, because I want to know exactly where she lives so we can try to have her join us.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Did she win the tourney?
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he.
That's rude.
And slit her throat.
Denmark was my brother, by the way. He dropped onion rings off, and they're cold. I gotta put them in the microwave after this video. Anyway. Flying by in rage, he forced Aveline into her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat. That's terrible.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Dude, that's awesome. Do you know any Ferelden legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Heard of Flemeth. Flemeth? Morgan's mother was called Flemeth. Yeah. I met a Flemeth.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists?
They probably just had the same name. She didn't really introduce herself as such.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Flemeth was once beautiful?
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea.
As
When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
They fell in love, huh? Alright, guys. What happened then? Ooh. The plot thickens. What happened then?
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Dude, that's cool. There was another story I wanted to hear.
Which one?
I thought if it was just now, but it slipped my mind. What about the Dalish?
I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When
Okay.
Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own.
Cool. It didn't last?
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
Okay. Nice. Okay, let's talk about Andraste. Do you know about Andraste?
Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved, and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker.
Cool. How did Andraste die?
Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Maferath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Maferath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Maferath made a pact with the Archon Hysarion of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter.
So the Winter has the Chantry, doesn't it? Why did the Maker not save her with his power?
I have thought on this too. Did he withdraw his sight from her at that moment? Where were all the powers he bestowed upon her? This question has come to me many times, and I have no answer. Perhaps there was no way for Andraste to return to the Maker but through her death. We will never know for sure.
Okay. Let's just move on. Alright. Anyway. I think we did everything.
Yes? Something you need?
Um,
Yes? What's on your mind?
do you have any?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
I will. Never mind. Alright. Let's see what Morgan has to say.
Yes,
I'd like to ask you something.
if you must.
Oh, never mind. We're gonna go continue. You guys can stay here, sit by the camp and stuff. We're gonna bring Arrow with us. Yes, venture forth. Who we gonna have? We're gonna have Arrow. We're gonna need the rogue.
Indeed.
And Alistair.
Yes.
I'm gonna come. Back to camp.
Alright.
Venture forth. Dog. Her.
Indeed.
Her.
Indeed.
We're going to need Morgan to talk to her mother. So we're going back to Plymouth, place. Now we're going to go inside and let's start looting. You, Liliana, I need you
What
to
now? Yes, of course.
Key required, so we can't have you pick a lock. Where is Morgan's mother? She's just vanished. That's weird. Redcliffe Village. Dog. Crossback Mountains. Dinnerham. Fishing village on the shores of the lake. Spy Mountains Range. Stretching across western Berlin, forming natural borders. Let's go that way. Venture that way. We want to go this way. Might get attacked. Yep, told you.
Will you stop eating?
Listen. Rush them and spring your own ambush for change. Leave a skillfully evade their clueless traps.
I'm hungry.
Stuff your face at camp. For now, watch the bloody road.
Okay. Keep listening.
But we've been looking at the road for hours. No travelers all day.
Will one of you pay attention?
I'm gonna listen to this. What else are they gonna say?
Hey, who's that?
They're all so eager
All right.
to die.
Try to be merciful.
Get off.
Another corpse to the pile.
You should run while you can.
Get these archers out. Yeah. Take them apart. Go to the bandit leader. Lay down.
Ice is like a truck. Desire. All right.
Take this one off. Yes.
And so I shall.
Let's start looting their bodies. Take everything they have. Take all. You.
All right.
Take all. Got a chest that needs unlocked.
Another battle, I see. Now we get our hands dirty. Oh,
Liliana was killed.
victory good.
And how's that?
Want some of this? Check this out.
Delighted.
Oh. Execution.
Another foe fallen. Of course.
We need to find Liliana. We gotta pick her up. I think she was killed right at the start. Yeah, she's right here. Liliana.
Delighted.
More bandits up this way? Yes, there is. Oh my gosh.
Desire. delighted.
Take all. And that's all of them, right? No more enemies? Go back and get Liliana. Alright, we need you, Liliana.
I shall.
Got some chests for you to pick, too. Because you're the only rogue we got, so we're going to have you pick these chests, the locks on these chests. Alright, leather helmet. Oh, found what, something Liliana needs. That was a trap. That hurt. Got another chest right here.
On my way.
Insufficient skill. Wait a minute. But you need more better skill, don't you? She was just picking locks a moment ago. Why can't she pick locks now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seriously, what?
So be it.
Allow me. I could do that for you. As
No,
you like.
can't. Why can't you do that? I thought you were able to do that. Weapons. Got there. You had a color. Okay. It's just not showing. Morgan. You're fine. Here's a second dagger for you. Better than nothing. Second category. Bow and arrows. Alright. Liliana will wear this. Because she is a rogue. Alright.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
No, you can't. I already tried. I just broke the barricade. What now? Trap broke the barricade. Because I can't get any more of these chests. We're gonna really work on Liliana's. Ouch. We really gotta work on Liliana's. That had to hurt. How many traps did they have? Oh.
Another battle!
Oh, he didn't expect us to do that. Let's go down this way. There might be more traps. What's this way? Where's the travel further than this? Alright. There's the exit. Alright. Another trap. Oh, look. Ran all the barricades. Let's get out of here. Yes. Keep going. We're going. Bust orderless. bounty hunter.
About time, O Warden. Loghain sent his regard.
Make them preserve us.
What are the bounty? That hurt. Journey ends. Load last save. Might change the difficulty. What's the difficulty at? Easy? This is easy. I keep dying. Wow. Alright. Let's be ready this time. Yeah, fire arrows. I might have to get rid of the dog. Add
Yes.
Alistair. 7. Alright, let's go.
Loghain sent
Problem.
his regard.
Load last save. We're going to do this.
About time, O Warden. Loghain sent his regard.
Let's end this.
You will learn to fear me.
I don't care about this right now. Yeah, sure. Take it. Yeah, take that.
Why does that always happen to me?
Thank you, dog. This dog saved our lives. loot everyone, right? Alright. These boots are better.
So how is it that Terran Loghain survived when even the Grey Wardens...
Greetings, my lord.
That was interesting.
Is it true Grey Wardens killed Ferelden's king?
No, it's not true.
They wait too long, trade won't come back. That's the way this works.
May the ancestors protect us all.
I have contracts. They can't shut us out like this.
Can I interest you in something? I've got the finest selection of previously owned armor and weaponry this side of Val Royeaux.
Let me take a look. Previously owned.
Why pay through the nose for new equipment when you can buy like new for much, much less?
Where do you get, like, new armor from?
Oh, here and there. Look, that's really not important. The important thing is, it's cheap. And just as good as what you'd find at a smithy.
Let me take a look.
Oh, of course. And remember, everything's covered by Farron's 24-hour lifetime guarantee.
24 hour. That's funny. Let's see. That's tempting. I'm gonna get that for my character. Wait. Yeah, this is the Qunari sword is the best I can do. Two-handed. Yes. Take that. Explosive bolts. We got armors to look at. Massive gloves. This is what I want. This is what I want. Don't need that. Our friend could probably use this, but he... It's not really rare. Smith's, but... Alright. Massive armor is the best armor. Well, strongest, well, slowest. Well, what we're going for. Medium helmet. Alright. our friends. The dagger. I forgot to buy the dagger, didn't I?
Ah, you want to see some of the best previously owned equipment in Thedas, friend?
Yes, let's me take a look.
Oh, of course. And remember, everything's covered by Farron's 24-hour lifetime guarantee.
That's the one you did. Right there. Alright. Where are you? Lilia? That's where we're switching. And they're both at 440. These are the chances they're at. Morgan's gonna need a dagger of some sort. Just in case. Alright.
The dogs were yelping all night long. Smell the dark storm.
You're such a handsome dog. I think that every time I look at you. Lady Cecily, I lived with her after my mother died, had a dog. A small one bred to fit under the arm and in the lap. What did she name it? Oh, yes, Bonbon. Oh, Bonbon was a terror. He would hide, you know, when he saw you coming. And then he would attack your ankles. Rather sharp teeth in the ankles. Very painful. He attacked me once. Latched onto my leg. I thought it was a diseased rat and kicked. Bonbon flew across the room and over the banister. He survived. But he never came near me after that.
That's funny.
There are other places to sell. I don't have to come back here.
They say no one goes in or out until the assembly speaks.
You.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant.
Did you lose your case when you left Ozamar?
It's not your business. But like my father, I was born on the surface. We never had a caste to leave. The assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites.
That's not right. Someone should do something.
Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown.
How often do you restock in Ozamar?
Twice a year. I'm confined to a trade stall in the commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it.
I should go.
Best of luck to you. Again, I'm flattered by your interest, great lord.
Did you lose your case? You left Ozamar?
It's not your business. But like my father, I was born on the surface.
Oh yeah, we heard
Never
this.
had a caste to leave. Yes.
Sorry about that. Okay, never mind. I should
Best
go.
of luck to you.
He needs his cast.
Bloody dwarves will argue themselves into poverty if they aren't careful.
So why don't them mages just whip up a spell and make those... Ah, don't mind us. Just
Greetings,
talk, that's
my
all.
lord.
Nothing here. We just want a circle. Alright, we got some stuff sold and stuff. I'm going to have to switch my weapon. Oh, I should start selling the stuff. We'll sell later. Right now we are going to end this video. Having such a journey, huh? Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, Hit that bell notification if you want to be notified on every video I put out. And as always, we gotta save first. Good. Pause. As always. Yes. As always, stay awesome.